YouTubers, welcome back to AZ2 Ozarks. It is a beautiful Christmas day and it may seem quite unusual. We are here in the Ozarks and it's 73 degrees today. It is warm and sunny and beautiful, not a sign of snow anywhere. But this house had another surprise for us today, not a break on Christmas. You can see behind me, we've got a puddle here. It hasn't rained in a few days, and when it did rain, there weren't puddles of standing water. So we came out here to investigate what is going on. There was actually a lot of standing water out in this area, which is near the building that houses the well pump. So there's one of the big puddles, and we come back over this way. The whole area was soaking and flooding, but it is lower elevation over there than it is over here. But there was standing water around this building that houses our wellhead. And so the guys got to digging. They started over here because that's where the majority of the water was pooled up, and it wasn't leading to the pipe. And here they found the PVC pipe that leads to the house. And unfortunately, the water was squirting right out of the joint there. And one thing we have discovered about the plumbing in this house is that every connection we've encountered so far is not glued. They're loose connections. And so that may be the problem right here. We don't know if this is the only cause of a leak, but today is Christmas. There are no stores open today, and tomorrow is Sunday. So we have the water turned off right now, which stopped it from continuing to leak. But yeah, so that's gonna have to be fixed, obviously. You may notice the black singe marks on the pipe there. And here is the wire that was the power source. And Rick suspects that's where it shorted when several months ago, well, actually it's been a year, we lost the power to the pump and had to call a well guy out here. We actually didn't know what was going on. We just knew we didn't have any water, and he reran the wires for us. So yeah, that might have been why it ended up shorting if it was leaking under here and constantly in water. Nice.
So it looks like they just never glued it.
Oh geez.
Shouldn't it have glue on it?
Well, it matches the rest of the plumbing in the house. None of it seems to have been glued.
This is why you don't dry fit pipes and then start drinking. You might forget what you're doing.
So it looks like hopefully we'll just have to glue that back together. They are going to go up and check out the other 90 degree to see if that one was also,
Back here.
or sorry, back this way. They're gonna have to dig because this is, so it comes out at this angle here. Excuse my squishing mud. And then it's got to do a 90 to get back over to the house. So they've got to dig out and find where the second 90 is to make sure that it gets glued. Whoa, almost slipped. And then glue that one as well. Christmas time fun. All right, that segment is now glued and tight. Well, not tight yet, but getting there. And there's another connection. Where'd it go? A straight connection where a previous repair was probably made is right in there. So we're gonna decide if that is glued, and then we're continuing on looking for the next bend that will turn back over towards the house. the sun will be setting here shortly, and you can see that this comes out quite a way from this building, and we have not yet found the angle where it's supposed to angle back towards the house. And now we're wondering if this line even does run to the house, or if there is another line that runs to the house. We assumed this was the water main here, coming out from this point. This is definitely coming out from the well, which is inside this old building. That joint has been repaired with glue. Rick's going to turn on the water just to test and make sure it's not leaking right there and puddling. We will probably call it a night at this point and resume work again in the morning. We're thinking if this goes all the way this distance out here, it's getting really close to the pasture, and this would be a fabulous place to put in a frost-free hydrant so we can fill up the cattle water, which we obviously keep in this general area. We usually have a bigger tub here as well when the cattle are on this pasture, but you can see that there was the big puddle here. This is lower elevation than where the leak was by the building. However, that could indicate if there is a bend there, maybe there's another leak there as well, because the other spots seem to have gone down quite a bit, but this one puddle right here is remaining after several hours. So I think we're going to call it a day and consider our options for adding in a hydrant. We have, I think, 3 more days of nice weather coming up, so we're looking at any freezing temperatures for a couple days, and let's look and see what happens when he turns on the water here. I think I hear water. Did you turn it on? Okay, the water is turned on and we don't see any water leaking in this region where it was definitely leaking earlier today. So even if this line doesn't go to the house, we have our water turned back on for the evening, and we will resume work in the morning to try and find where this pipe goes. All right, it is a new day, no signs of any new flooding. The standing water has all gone away and absorbed in. It is a slightly cooler day, a little bit overcast. The high today will be, I think, 66, so it's still not very wintry, but we are going to continue digging this to try and find where this goes. It seems as though a storm is blowing in and the temperatures are dropping, where we weren't expecting to have any frost for a few days, but now the temperatures are dropping and it looks like we may have frost. So in light of the issue being fixed, the water leak being fixed, we decided to go ahead and cover back up the pipe so we don't have any freezing issues. So it's covered back up, but it does continue in this direction, and we did not find the angle where it heads back to the house. So we have marked here on the fence where it is going, so we will continue digging here when we know there isn't going to be frost. So at least all is well as far as no more leaking pipes at this moment, and we will further investigate in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to keep following our adventure.